Welcome back to the farm. My name's Roz, also known as Passion Flower, and you'll find me here each week talking about my farming and creative life. The dairy shed is almost free of all of its ivy. It is so crazy to look at the big piles of ivy that have come off it, and it now looks rather small, but also quite cute and haunted. We've discovered that there was a whole second room on one side, which even had its own little fireplace in there. We still need to figure out the best way to make it square or to brace it. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do yet, but it is free of all of its weight, and we can now look to figure out what we're going to do. Where the second room was, we're likely not going to try and resurrect that. There's not a lot left, just a few pieces of tin, but rather maybe turn it into like a lean-to shelter over that side and leave with no walls, so leave it open, but just have a roof. We've also started to plant trees around the water tanks to provide a bit of a screen so that you really can't see them from the road. We have put in a lot of native plants. We've got some wattles and some tea tree and some banksia, and they should shrub up and look really nice. They've all got flowers on them, which should attract birds and bees and are a start to the shed garden in terms of trees and shrubs. Although we have done a lot of fencing, which I've talked about on numerous occasions, there are still parts of the farm where there are fences that need a lot of work. There's one particular part where there is no fence at all, which has been okay because we've been using it as an access point off the road. But we found out this week that people had been getting in there and had been cutting their own firewood. So we really don't want people on our property, and from the house you can't see that part of the farm. So we had to do some quick fencing to block that area off. So we put in some star pickets and we've run a couple of lengths of wire and propped up the old fence that was there, and we've now blocked off that access point. There is a little issue with doing that though, because it was also our only access point to that part of the farm with a vehicle. We can walk there. It is a wedge of land that has a creek on two sides, and then its third side is on the road. So we can walk and jump the creek at particular points, but there's really no way to get a vehicle across there unless you do it from the roadside. So what we've done is, at the moment, blocked it off for everybody, and we are now looking at options of how we can create a small crossing on the creek so that we can access this little part of the farm internally. With the end of the financial year, there are a few not so fun and glamorous jobs that need to be done for a small business. And for me, the big one is to do a full stock take of all of my dyed and undyed yarns. I needed to count them all and make sure that I had the correct stock levels, account for any losses, and get everything ready for my tax return. Another thing I've been working on, which I'm pretty excited about, is a learn to knit kit, which I will now be selling. I've prepared an instruction booklet with instructions on how to start, how to knit, how to purl, and how to bind off, and a little sort of scarf recipe to start someone out. And I'm including this with a set of needles and with a ball of my hand-dyed yarn. So I've been working on putting together these packs, and I am excited that hopefully I might be able to inspire some new people to try knitting. I took a look at what progress I had made in terms of both knitting and crochet this week, and I really don't have that much to show. I did sit and knit and crochet this week, but obviously I didn't spend a lot of time because it doesn't look like I really did much at all. So instead, I thought I'd share with you a previous project, and that's the jumper that I'm wearing today. This is Miranda, and I knit it back in 2015. I think it was one of the first jumpers that I made for myself, and it was also my first cabled project as well. So I was very careful when I knit this. I remember that I actually swatched in the round and I swatched the cable pattern as well. Maybe that's why I'm not having so much success with jumpers lately. Maybe I'm not taking as much time and care with the preparation and swatching part and just want to get to the knitting part. It's made out of yarn from Bennett and Gregor, which is a company in South Australia that produce and spin their own yarn. It's in a natural brown, so it's pure wool. I've had to de-pill it a couple of times, but it's still in really, really good condition. I do take good care of it, but it's one of those successes that I had. It's just a perfect fit and I really love it. You can see it's got a little V detail across the top. It's slight boat neck, and then it's got a cable pattern through just the center. It's plain on the back, slight ribbing on the sleeves, a really good sleeve length, and it's also got a kangaroo pocket in the front, and it sits really nicely. It comes in at the right spots. I was just able to get the perfect fit. Being wool, it is really warm. It's also soft and comfortable. I have another big skein of this yarn, so I am always sort of thinking about what I might be able to do with it for a second jumper as well, because I really did enjoy knitting with it, and it has just come up beautifully and continued to be something that I really enjoy wearing. Well, that's it for another week. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the farm. Bye.